Have a question? Kids and sports coming up next.
Quit trying to hide your emotions just because you guys lost.
See, now I can hear you, Coach Mike.
Good morning, everybody. Coach Mike here, Kids and Sports. My co-host, Alex Alanese.
Good morning.
Good morning, Alex. You got the tears gone?
No tears.
No tears.
It's preseason, third string. I'm not worried
Okay,
about
I got a friend of mine at work says that the Raiders are going to go 10-6. I don't think that's going to happen, but
Well, I had money on the game too. I was betting on the Raiders.
You're gambling. Oh my goodness. Okay, let's get back to where we got. As you sports, welcome everybody. The Coach Mike here. You're on the Rant Radio Network, and you know that the coach has homework for you. You have to be qualified to listen to this show. Not just anybody can listen to it. So you need to go to the Kids and Sports website, and that's www.kidsandsports.com, and that's KIDZ, N as in Nancy, sports.com. For those of you that are phonetic or technologically handicapped, you can go to yourkidsandsports.com, spelled out correctly. My email address, coachmike@kidsandsports.com. I'd love to get your emails. Let me know about subjects. Let me know if you want to argue about something. Let me know if you want to come on the show. You got a team? I got a whole list of teams that just won championships in softball. You can bring your team out here. We'll bring a whole team in here and talk to them about their experiences. So we like to do that kind of stuff. But send me your emails. And, of course, you can call the show, too. My number disappeared. I guess I'll use that one, 855-969-7268. It's 969-RANT, 855-969-RANT. Give us a call. We're going to have some very interesting guests today, and we're going to actually have a comparison of individual sport to a team sport. Well, I guess the sport sort of overlaps. We're going to be talking about golf today, so we're going to get into that a little bit later.
What's flog?
Flog. It's golf backwards.
Oh, okay. Hey, you know what golf stands for, right?
Yes. What are you?
It's an acronym.
Yeah.
You guys know what the acronym stands for?
Gentlemen only, ladies forbidden is the original where that supposedly came from. And in the early days, women were not allowed to play golf. So that's where that came from. So, yes, we're going to be talking about golf today. By the way, you also can listen to the kids. Yeah, there we go. A little late. We'll take it. Kids and Sports app. Go to the Google Play Store and get the Kids and Sports app. You do a search. You can download that. You can call the show from the app. You can sign up for a text newsletter. You can listen to the previous show on there. I mean, it's all sorts of cool stuff. And if you aren't always by your computer, you can catch us on your phone also. We're on TuneIn Radio. Just look for the Rant Radio Network, and you can listen to me live as well. So make sure you check that out. I've got all sorts of stuff. I mean, I did a lot of homework last night, Alex, getting ready for this. I found out something I want to do. And, as a matter of fact, our guest next week, we got a representative of ASA coming in here. And I'm going to talk to him. I'm going to see if I can. But November 22nd and 24th in Livermore, California, is the 2013 USA Softball National Coaching School. And I'm going to check that out. I'd like to be able to go. Mike Candrea is going to be there, Ken Erickson, Mike White. Those are some top softball coaches, and that's right, man. I want to go.
They're coaching the coaches?
They're coaching the coaches. More coaches need that. More coaches in every sport need that. But especially in youth sports, that's one of the drawbacks is you get some coaches that don't have the confidence to think they're going to be that good. You got other ones think they know it all already, and so they don't want to. They don't think they need to hear from those guys. I'm always trying to learn. I've been coaching youth sports for over 30 years. I've been coaching. I've got 10 years varsity experience at the high school level. I'm still trying to learn.
Well, Coach Mike, I think you could teach those classes. I think, right?
I do some clinics every now and then, and especially for a rec league or whatever. There's a lot. I think I do have a lot to offer the coaches, but like I said, I'm always trying to learn too, because the game doesn't stop, and I could always improve my skills. That's the way I go into it. I have no. I guess that's one of the different things about me. I have no ego to bruise them. We all have a little bit. If you're going to be a coach, everybody's got a little bit of ego on it. I mean, let's see. We like we like the pat in the back. Hey, coach. I mean, a couple of years ago, I was helping a travel ball team. We were up in Hesperia for a tournament, and I had a lady come up to me, and she says, Coach Mike. She says, you don't remember me, but you coached my daughter when she was 8 years old in Downy Ponytail. Wow, she remembered me. I mean, that's a big. I love it when a student comes back. Hey, coach, man, it's great. I really love that team. I missed that a little bit. And moving on, I forgot I was going to wear my Georgia T-shirt today. I got a T-shirt from one of my players from last year.
You got to wear your colors, Coach Mike.
Well, my colors are maroon and gold, but you won't hardly ever see me in another one. But I will wear Georgia because one of my players got me a shirt. So I love it. I love it when we get that. So. Also, before we get into our main topic today, I got a couple things to do, and I'm waiting for the second segment because I got to do a shout-out. I promised some friends a shout-out today. What just finished this last week, and you can still catch some of it, is in the last 2 weeks, actually, are the ASA and the Premier Fast Pitch Championships, and I've got a whole list of all these teams and their winnings. ASA, let's see what we got, 10 and under. SoCal Athletics 2020 from Lakewood was the champion there for the 10 and under division. 2013 class. Let's see what number. Make sure that was that was in Bowling Green, Kentucky. Chattanooga, Tennessee 12 and under fast pitch. Texas Chaos. The top California team was Power Surge Teal from La Mesa. Came in second. What do you got? 14 and under. Texas Impact Gold Elder. Now here's an interesting thing, Alex, and this is something in 14, 16, 18, and 18 gold. There's 4 divisions of ASA right here. Up until about 5 years ago, maybe a little longer, you would almost always see the top 5 teams would be California. There might be one other team up there now.
Well, when you're reading them off, I didn't realize it was out of state.
Yes, well, these are the national championships. These are ASA. This 14 under was in Normal, Illinois. That's where they had it. Okay, Texas Impact Gold Elder, League City, Texas, went 8-0 to win that. Top California team, what do we get there? See, 9th place, the Next Level Gold from San Diego. Used to play. It's a very good organization. Let's see, 16 under. Atlanta Vipers, Barry from Sugar Hill, Georgia, went 8-0 to win that one. And let's see, Rockland Lady Magic from Rockland, California got second. We got 18 under. Carolina Cardinals, 18 gold. Atlanta Vipers. So, I mean, used to be heavily dominated. California still got a lot in there. Now, part of that might be because of the Premier Girls Fast Pitch, which a lot of teams now are going more to that. And
now, Coach Mike, could that be that maybe softball isn't as important out of state as it is here in Southern California? Could that be?
Well, no, it's the weather had more to do with it.
Oh, weather.
The weather. It's Florida, Arizona, Texas, California.
I'd hate to play softball in Texas, I'll tell you.
Oh, but they got some.
The humidity's out of control.
It's changed now, but you look, a lot of college teams got California kids on them. California's back, and we're going to find out. I bet golf is a little bit the same way, because we can play. We're not going to get rained out every other day, right? So if you go back, now I know you're a young guy and I'm an old guy.
Yeah, sure.
You go back, my Sun Devils, they won 3 NCAA championships, 65, 67, 69. If they didn't win it, it was usually USC. And why was it? Because the Arizona schools, the California, UCLA, USC, Arizona State, they would usually have like 30 games under their belt before a lot of other teams even started playing, because they had to wait for snow to melt or whatever it is. And so that would definitely be an advantage.
So it's more about the ability to play versus.
Right. But at the same way, partly because of that coming, the California became the mecca of the ice weather. You got a lot of coaches out here. The population has a lot to do with it. The one that's disappointed me in softball over the years is Arizona. That they got some very good teams, but not as many as you would think. Again, with the weather they've got and with the baseball tradition, you think they would have do a little better than they do. The Premier Gold is taking a lot of the California teams.
Little favoritism there, huh, Coach?
None at all. I am totally unbiased.
You're from Arizona, right?
That's right. No, the Premier Gold is a lot of the California. One of the reasons the Premier Gold has become, or the Premier tournaments have become very popular, is because the tournaments here in California, and especially the economy like it is. There's a few other things we'll be able to talk next week with Bruce about. There's some disagreements between ASA and PGF as far as certain policies or whatever, but a lot of it also had to do with travel, because ASA moves their national titles around, so you might have to travel back east for a national title. So some teams just say, hey, we can't afford to do that.
Now, we've talked about ASA, but what's PGF?
PGF is Premier Girls Fast Pitch.
I don't think I've heard that acronym.
That's another one.
That's a new one.
That one, SoCal Athletic, you got a lot more the California teams there, but you got other teams. They're good tournaments. You can still see some PGF ball this week on TV. The championships are all finished, but they're replaying on ESPN or Fox. They're replaying some of those this week.
Now, everything that I'm hearing here, Mike, there's a lot of homework that goes on with having a child in softball. A lot to know about all the different leagues, a lot to know about all the different tournaments.
Any sport.
Yeah, well, really? Is that all sports? I don't know. I didn't get that when I was a kid.
Well, a lot of things have changed since we were a kid, and that's the big thing. Would we have ever thought about playing golf when we were a kid? Probably not.
No.
That was something, unless you had money. It used to be a rich man's sport.
Oh, that's true.
It still is to a degree.
That's true.
These golf courses are not cheap to go out and play on, a lot of them. So that has a lot to do with it.
Even us as adults.
Yeah, shit. Tell me about it. I'll tell you, I used to play quite a bit, probably more than I should have. One thing I did have to follow up on, a couple of weeks ago, we had a group of 10-year-old girls in here from Norwalk Fast Pitch. So I pulled up the ASA B 10 and under Western Nationals, which was held in Peoria, Arizona, and there they are. Where'd they go? I just had them. Boy, I better not have wiped that one out.
That was a good show.
There it is, 17th. They ended up tied for 17th out of 33 teams.
Wow.
They won one game and lost two. So they did okay. They represent. They came, like they said early on, they had a goal, and people didn't necessarily, some people necessarily think they were going to get as far as they did, but
well, listening to them on the air, they were champs in my book.
Weren't those girls awesome?
They were.
We're going to have some more awesome stuff here after the break. Coach Mike here, Kidz and Sports, and my co-host Alex Alanese. We'll be back in just a minute.
Make your team look like pros with custom lineup cards. Whether you are a travel team, rec team, all-star team, or just some old guys playing slow pitch, we can make your team look a little better with some custom lineup cards. For the umpire, for the opponent, for the scorekeeper, for the dugout, no matter where your lineup card goes, you will look like a big league team with your team logo and name on top of your personalized lineup card. Just visit CustomLineupCards.com. With the best prices in town, you are sure to hit a home run with us. Visit CustomLineupCards.com and go pro.
We are the Three Guys Rant
With Arvin, Mike, and Phil.
coming to you on the Rant Radio Network every Monday from 6 to 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. You can call us at 855-69-THE-3-GUYS.
It's not the three guys. This is why you should turn in, because one has Tourette's. The other one's illiterate.
You really should listen in. You never know what's going to happen.
855-69-3-GUYS. G-U-Y-S and the number 3, not the.
Faces for radio, voices for the deaf.
Look forward to talking to you.
Hey, I'm audio candy. I don't know about you guys.
What up, foodie freaks? It's Chef Bev Laza with the Culinary Trend Show. Join me and my brigade every Thursday night from 8 to 9 p.m. where we will be cooking up some crazy stuff that will give you the appetite for discussion. It's all about the good food, good friends, and good times. Only here on RantRadioNetwork.com.
DM Narc Radio Show is now airing on the Rant Radio Network. You've heard the three guys Rant refer to us as the Clam Chowder Power Hour. Now we get to bring our New England humor over to Los Angeles. We'll be airing Friday at 2 p.m. Pacific, 5 Eastern, and we'll cover everything from local to national politics and news. Guess what? We're uncensored too. I'm Dave. Join me and Nick Friday on the Rant Radio Network.
We're the Brothers Bear Podcast Live, and I'm your host, Sanj, and I'm always joined by
Edgar,
Carlos Madrano, and this is a show where we talk about
comics, movies, TV, video games, stand-up, music, and many more geeky things.
Catch us live on Rant Radio Network on Mondays from 7:30 to 8:30 p.m.
That's another commercial in the bag.
We are just having way too much fun already.
I'll tell you what, we should have the show about the breaks. You know,
we could probably do some YouTube of the breaks and stuff and all that.
Do some outtakes.
There you go. Coach Mike here, Kids and Sports of the Rant Radio Network. Got an awesome show for you today. I hope you're listening. If you're not by your computer where you can go to the Rant Radio Network website, you can get us on TuneIn Radio. And I got some people that are supposed to be listening this morning. I don't know if we're going to see if they followed out. I got to find a way to test them. I'll ask them. But I want to shout out to my friends and associates out at the Honda Center concessions. Keandre, Lauren, Juan. I hope I get over Veronica, Kim, Victor, Aaliyah, John, Andy, Gio, all these guys, the warehouse. There's a bunch of great people out there. Making sure you got good stuff to eat. You got WWE Raw coming up at the Honda Center this week, So they're out there getting ready for that, and it takes a team to put stuff together like that. It's not one person can't do it all. So we got a good group team, and I've been having fun out there with them too. So I told them I'd give them a shout out today. It's a lot of fun getting out there working together for a common goal, whether we're on a softball field or any other venue for that matter.
Well, when you're working, Coach Mike, do you get a chance to see all that stuff?
Not really. We can hear it. We can't see it. So
yeah, because you got to do your job.
We got to
right?
do the work. We got to take care of the customers, and that's what that's all about. We got to. What I did see something really cool. I hope I'm not violating trade secret. I don't think I am, but they're getting ready. The ice ready.
Don't say it.
No, I don't think it is. They're getting ready to getting ready for the duck season, right, for hockey.
The hockey.
So they're getting the ice all ready and everything. And I didn't realize this, but the blue lines and the logo and everything is actually hand-painted on the ice.
On the I thought it was underneath.
Well, I think they put a separate coat over. I don't know.
Oh, I see.
While we were working yesterday, got to notice that they were out there hand-painting this.
It's not like baseball or something. We're walking that little chalk.
Yeah, you think they're. I would have thought they'd have some sort of strip they lay down or some label, but no, they're out there hand painting it. That was really cool.
How many people are you talking about? I mean,
they had about 8 people, 6 or 8 people, like a crew, or 6 or 8.
Any idea how long that would take?
Oh, they were there all day. It was awesome.
Me.
Oh, it was awesome.
Wow,
it was absolutely awesome.
And probably at minimum wage.
No, that's not
no,
what I'm
kidding
saying.
around. I'm kidding around.
No, that's what. No. I'll tell you what, they're very good people on that end.
Just real quick, Coach Mike, I used to visit the Kings games over at the Staples Center.
Okay.
And one thing I never understood was somebody grabbed an octopus, a live octopus, and threw it on the ice.
No.
I thought maybe you'd know about that stuff.
No, anybody. I used to be a big basketball fan, and I had a girlfriend years ago over in Arizona. We went to Phoenix Suns game, and she said, "Well, you got to go to a hockey game." And so we went to a Phoenix Roadrunner game, and it's really cool. It's not. I don't enjoy it on TV as much, but a hockey game is really cool to be there at.
When it's live,
it's awesome.
And you got a few beers in you.
I don't know
Forget about
this
it.
is a kid's show, Alex. What am I going to do with you? You need more training, brother.
All right.
Anyway, I just enjoyed it live.
I forget.
The one key thing that applies to some other sports too, but more to hockey than anything else, you don't throw anything out there on the ice because you could really hurt somebody. Because we were thinking about that yesterday, Tom. What if that ice wasn't perfectly smooth? I mean, it gets scraped up during the course of the game. That's where the Zamboni comes out but what if there was a lip, like in softball, you'll see on the infield, you have a lip. You got a guy skating 40 miles an hour, whatever they get up to, and they hit that. I mean, you can get serious injury. I mean, and to throw something on the ice, same kind of thing.
Well, I just don't understand the octopus thing.
I don't either. I never. I haven't followed hockey as much.
You guys ever seen that before? I just don't see the correlation between hockey and a live octopus.
There must have been something, but you never know what the fans, especially up in L.A. You never know what the fans are going to come up with, right?
I'll tell you what.
Anyway, let's move on there. I just thought that was really cool. Anyway, hope you guys are all having fun out there today. Let's get on to talk about some golf. I haven't played lately. My doctors and chiropractor said I shouldn't because I've got bone spurs, but I'm about ready to say, you know what? I think I'm going to take a chance. I haven't played in a while, and I sort of miss it. I've never been that good, but I like playing golf. There's nothing more. At the same time, there's no sport that is more relaxing or more frustrating at the same time than golf is. And we got a couple gentlemen here, Luis Batson and Maurice. I didn't get your last name. Ramirez from Help Youth Through Golf. And they've got it's a nonprofit, it's a charitable organization here that helps kids that can't afford it. One of the things we were talking about at the break is golf has always been a very expensive game. You can play, depending what course you want to go on to, you can pay hundreds of dollars just for a round of golf. And I used to take advantage. I used to be in the mailbox business, and I used to run a networking group here in Southern California. And a couple of the members were out in Palm Springs, so we'd do a meeting out there. And my one friend out there, Dave Welty, would get the booklets, the discount booklets, so we could go play like PGA West for like $40 or something. Because the summer when it's 100 degrees out there, people tend to shy away from the course. I love 100 degrees. Bring it on. So we'd go out there and you could play all day long and have a great time. So, but it's the clubs are not cheap. Although maybe with the economy, you get some at a good swaps meet or something real cheap. And I'm looking at some of the other programs out there. Long Beach, Hartwell Golf Course. I'm looking at Los Angeles. They got and there's fees involved everywhere. $85, $100. It costs money to go out and do this. These guys are helping kids learn how to play golf for free, right?
Yes, sir, for free.
Tell us about it. What you got going on, Louis?
We started a program in 2011, and we started at Newark. And the reason when we started, there was I used to be a volunteer at Newark, and one kid, I have to say his name, Carlos Herrera, he walked up to me and said, "Hey, can you teach me how to play?" And I said, "Yes." And I said, "Well, if I can teach one kid how to play, maybe I can teach more kids how to play." And that's how we came up with the HYTG. Carlos is now a senior, but he graduated this past year. But no, golf is expensive. It is expensive. But what we want to do is we want to take that expense out by offering free lessons and free equipment. Our equipment is not new. We get donations from people or from organizations, and that's how we can do it. As far as provide the equipment, I started playing the game and studying the game back in '95, and I started working with the clubs and stuff, so I know how to take them apart and put them together and cut them down, for the kids. So that's another expense that we can get out the way. And we're looking for kids that want to try it but can't afford it.
Very slow. Now, Louis, before you get further into HYGT, what was your youth sports career? What did you do when you were a kid? You didn't play golf, I bet, did you?
Soccer.
And you say you're from Panama, right?
Born and raised in Panama.
Is there another sport there besides soccer?
Soccer. We played baseball. Golf was not nowhere close.
Do they have golf courses in Panama?
Yes,
It's not a real big country,
No, it's not. But we got some golf clubs down there. But when I was growing up, I saw one, and that was it. And I know I didn't want to be on it. And
like you say, baseball. You've had a few very famous players from major leagues playing baseball. So, but other than that, baseball and soccer mostly.
Baseball and soccer.
Get a little basketball now?
A little basketball, yeah. Well,
Okay.
mainly baseball and soccer and some baseball, yeah.
And what's the highest level you played at in any of these sports?
I did play high school, volleyball, soccer.
Oh, there you go, volleyball. Okay.
Local, but that was it. That was it. No.
Mauricio, what did you do when you were a kid?
Played a lot of sports: soccer, baseball, basketball, football, but never golf. Even though they had a golf team in my school, I never tried out for that. I never saw it as a sport till now.
So you tried to do it, huh?
Till I tried it, yeah.
And what high school did you go to?
Downey High School.
Downey High.
Downey,
You're right
right
here
on.
in our backyard.
Yeah, down
Right.
the street.
Cool. I live not down the corner. I know if you know Steve Barber.
Steve Barber.
One of the soccer coaches over there. He's been there. I don't. He's been there a number of years. Maybe not when you were there.
Probably after I left.
After you
yeah.
left. Cool. You brought up some good points. Number one, most kids don't think about golf. I did have one of my softball players last year leave sixth period softball, decide to go play golf because she didn't want to run.
Yes.
You golf guys don't make you run.
a lot
You got to walk
it's a lot of
18
walking.
holes. That's a lot of walking.
It is a lot of walking.
Unless you got the little golf cart, right?
Yeah.
You still get your exercise out
You
there.
get your exercise.
In one of the schools that I work in Compton, because I teach golf in the Compton School District, I asked a little girl, 9-year-old, why golf? I said, well, I don't have to sweat that much. Okay.
Hey, whatever, they all have different motivation. I've actually had kids come out for my softball team because they didn't want to do PE because they didn't want to run. And I said, what do you think you're going to do out here? You're going to do some running out here, And
Well, more on a serious note, I think that if the folks that are interested in golf, they're usually good at it. Because there are those that try it and they say, oh, I can't do this, and then they just quit,
Yes.
But if they're feeling it and they're doing well, I think that they would pursue it at that point.
Continue it, yeah.
We think that it only takes one good shot to really get you really
excited.
hooked in golf.
Yeah,
You say,
yeah.
wow, I can hit that.
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe there's more in it. Yeah.
You're right. When I bought my clubs, my daddy just passed away in 95, and I was over in Phoenix taking care of some business, and I was at the Scottsdale Country Club golf course, and they paired me up with a guy who walked on as a single, and they paired me up with an older gentleman who just made some clubs for this other guy, and they were the graphite, and I was always, my friends always said, you don't want graphite because I'm a bully, I try to do too hard, and this guy said, no, Mike, you'll learn, so I paid the guy who made a set of clubs for me, which I still have, and like he said, that day though, what sold me on that was one shot. We were on a 180-yard par 3 over water, and I pulled out, what did he give me, a 3-iron or 4-iron, something like that, and I put the ball about this far from the pin. I said, I need a set of those clubs.
Yeah, you went right through it.
Yeah, we got to take a commercial break here, go raise some money to play some more golf. Maybe I'm going to get out there again. I got to do that. Kids and Sports on the Rant Radio Network. We'll be back in a minute.
Make your team look like pros with custom lineup cards. Whether you are a travel team, rec team, all-star team, or just some old guys playing slow pitch, we can make your team look a little better with some custom lineup cards. For the umpire, for the opponent, for the scorekeeper, for the dugout, no matter where your lineup card goes, you will look like a big league team with your team logo and name on top of your personalized lineup card. Just visit CustomLineupCards.com. With the best prices in town, you are sure to hit a home run with us. Visit CustomLineupCards.com and go pro.
theticketsurgeon.com. Reach us at 855-WIN-4-199.
Did you get caught speeding, texting while driving, or doing anything else you weren't supposed to do?
Give us a call. Don't miss work. Don't lose out on the money. Don't get any more points. What about your insurance? Let us fight for you. Theticketsurgeon.com at 855-WIN-4-199.
Welcome to the Monster Marketing Group, your one-stop shop for all your marketing needs. Anything you need to make that marketing and advertising campaign stand out, we're your people. Concepts, design, production, social media, anything that you can dream up, we're going to make happen for you. And we can do it in a very quick turnaround. Please give us a call at 888-49-MONSTER.
We're going to have to televise the break, cover the breaks here, too.
I'll tell you, we should be recording the breaks.
We should be recording the breaks. Coach Mike here, Kidz and Sports at the Rant Radio Network. And my guest today, Luis Baston and Mauricio Ramirez. I'll remember, I got some Ramirez's. I got to remember that. From Help Youth Through Golf. They give free golf lessons down here in Compton to help kids learn how to play golf. And they realize that it's an expensive sport. But they're trying to overcome that. So God bless them. I like what you guys are doing here. We were talking, the one thing I said is golf is the most frustrating and most rewarding game at the same time. You can have good and bad at the same time. And Luis made a comment, you can never have 100% bad day. And I said, I had a few of those,
You're hitting the golf club on the grass.
I mean, there were just some days, and the matter got, but it was a wake-up call. We learn life lessons through sport, which is we're going to get to ultimately. That's what you're teaching. You're not just teaching the kids golf, and I like that. I learned a lesson about controlling my anger because I would get mad. And we saw a guy one time, we were playing with our old pastors. We used to go out and play golf down then. We were at one of the courses in El Dorado or something, and a guy got mad and threw his club up in a tree, ended up paying one of the greens guys $20 to go to fetch his club for him. But I was playing with a friend named Danny years ago. We worked together at Farmer John. Danny was about 16, 17, maybe 18 at the time. His dad worked there, and a really good golfer. I mean, we'd go out and play now and then, and we were down at Skylinks in Long Beach, and I was having an okay day, some potential, but then it was starting to fall apart and get to the 18th hole, and I shanked 4 shots in a row that went about 20 feet each. I mean, they were, and I don't know what I was doing. And about the 4th shot, he laughed at me or whatever, and I cussed him out and threw a club at him, but we didn't play too much together. And I apologize. He forgave me, but, he, at the same time, I was a little nervous. And that was a wake-up call for me, too, that I was letting it get to me, And you see, I got a friend named Mark that used to go to our church that was like a natural. He was a scratch golfer, literally naturally. He could walk out. He could softball, basketball, anything. This guy was just that natural athlete, even golf. I mean, he was amazing. But for most people, that doesn't happen, and especially, I think I've broken 100 once or twice. So to give you an idea, but I've learned after that, take your time and enjoy the game because it is an enjoyable game.
Yes, it is. With the kids, especially we work with kids. Number one is safety. You want because you got a piece of iron in your hand and you can hurt somebody. So you want to start with safety. Make sure before you take the club back. You look, see if anybody, and then it's fun. At the youth level, if you're not having fun,
why are you doing it?
Why do it? And no matter what sport it is, why do it?
Have we heard that before, Alex? Have we said that?
I'll tell you, it's that repeated message that we're hearing all
Hopefully
the time.
People are getting it. You got to have fun. You got to
have fun. Then we want you to not just learn golf. We want to help you learn in school because if you learn patience, you learn dedication and all this stuff, you transfer it from one thing to another, not just leave it here. You take it with you from the golf course to the classrooms, because we want the kids in the classroom. Number one, then respect. We need to respect ourselves. The kids need to respect themselves. Need to respect other people, other kids, us, and pretty much it. I mean, what do you need to have in life? Respect for others.
Well, we've always talked about sports being a metaphor for life. Doesn't matter what sport it is,
exactly.
Right? golf I've always seen as being an individual sport, but the metaphor for golf, for me anyway, and maybe you guys can expand on this a little bit, is it is an attempt at reaching a goal with the least amount of tries, right? It's not like some of the other sports where, baseball, you have to go across 3 bases before you get to the home plate, right? I mean, and I'm not knocking the sport. What I'm saying is
Right.
that's the goal of the sport. I see golf as being the metaphor for trying to get the hole in one.
Right.
You're trying to get the goal. I would like to take that onto my life experience, especially in business.
Yes, I say golf is 2 things oriented: target oriented and percentage oriented. If you can't hit the target, you need to do something to get to practice. You can practice. You need to practice so you can hit. I don't care if the target is 2 feet, 10 feet, 20 feet. You have to hit that target. Percentage. You look at the PGA. At the score. The person that have the best percentage of fairways hit, greens in regulation, less putt, guess what? Win the tournament.
Now you just spoke a lot of Greek to me right now. Maybe we can expand on that a little. I'm the conscious of the show. So.
The other reason Alex helps me out here, guys, is that he's learning too. Because someday he's going to take over my show.
Yeah, sure.
He's because there are some people in the audience might not understand some of the things, and so he does a good job of pulling that up. So
you lost me.
Let me break it down a little. If you take, for example, a par 5, you're supposed to be. It takes 5 hits to complete that hole from green to tee.
And that has to do with the course, right?
Yes.
Okay, I understand that much.
So that par 5, well, if you hit the ball with your driver and you stay in the fairway, that's in the short grass, your fairway in regulation. Then if you hit you usually take 3 shots to get on the green. If you take those 3 shots to get on the green, you are on the green in regulation.
So you've done better than what the course is.
No.
Now is that an average? Is that
that's
how they
average?
figure? Okay.
That's average. Now, if you do it in less, is -1 or -2. If it's a par 5, if you do it in 4, you get a birdie, which is -1. So you did better than the average. The average is par.
A little birdie, like.
I didn't have to worry about that. I got bogeys a lot more than I got birdies. But a bogey is over par. In other words, okay, if you're 1 under par, it's a birdie. They call it a birdie.
A birdie.
If it's 2 under par, it's called an eagle. Mm-hmm. If you go over par,
it's a big birdie.
It's a big birdie. Make it simple for you, Alex. So if you go 1 over par, that's a bogey. Mm-hmm. 2 over par is a double bogey. Mm-hmm. I think I've probably had a couple quadruple bogeys at times. There were sometimes there were times where where I struggle was the chipping game. Mm. So there were times I'd go back and forth, and I just couldn't get it right. But I could one putt. I could sink a putt from 40 feet, or depending on the green. I guess all that miniature golf I used to play, at some time it came into play there. But driving and putting was okay, but in between. Mm-hmm. So, but let's go back a little bit. You talked when I met you last week, Louis. You talked about using golf to help the kids set goals.
Yes. For example, when I was practicing. When I took up the game serious, back in 95, 96, I had this piece of paper with my wife used to go with me, and I wanted to see how many just chipping. If I was chipping, I needed to get really close to the flag. If I didn't get close to the flag, it was like a 1, 2, or 3. Well, 3 was really close. 2 was a little further away. 1, so you want to give yourself small goals. And with the same thing with the kids. Well, we want to teach the kids. Okay, the first thing. Okay, you want to hit the ball straight. Okay, let's see how many times you can hit the ball straight. And this is chipping, pitching. I have not driving. Never talk driving. Chipping or pitching or putting. Well, are you close to the hole? Then we develop a little like competition. Okay, let's see who gets closer to the hole in chipping or pitching. If you don't get that putting, chipping, and pitching done, you're not going to do well in golf.
What's your strong game?
Hole in one. I've hit it, so I actually.
Par 3?
It was a par 3.
Usually they are. They usually are a par 3. But I mean, are you best driving, chipping, putting?
I would say between all of them, I'm like average.
Okay.
I have all my driving. It's pretty much fair to my putting and chipping. Everything's pretty much at the same level.
And how did you get hooked up, Luis?
I know his son's best friend with my brother-in-law.
Oh, okay.
So we've known each other for a while. And his son, actually, when I started playing golf in 2009, he was at the house, and I told him, he came over for a barbecue. We're having a barbecue at the house, and my brother-in-law told him, hey, Mauricio just started playing golf. And he told me, oh, my dad's a golf coach. And I brought out a club. I showed him my swing, and hey, pretty good swing. So yeah, why don't you tell your dad to coach me and teach me? So he did a couple months here and there, and then afterwards kept on working. And then in 2011, he told me he was starting a nonprofit for kids to help them with golf. So I joined him since, and we've been here ever since.
How many kids do you guys get into in one group? How do you normally run it?
Our biggest group, it could 15 to 20. That's the biggest group, and that's all pretty much Compton can take in one session because we do it. We practice at the chipping area, putting area. Normally like 9 or 10, and that's a good number.
Okay.
Because there's only 2 of us, and if you get 50 kids with 2 instructors.
So you need some coaches too.
Yes, sir.
You like some coaches, not just you don't just want some money to help you out and get you more. You want coaches.
Yes, sir. We want coaches.
Okay.
Yeah, volunteers.
We'll make sure we push that message.
Yeah.
Now, Compton is not. I don't really relate Compton to golf. Is there a reason why you chose Compton?
I didn't choose Compton. God point me in that direction.
Oh, right on. Okay.
Cool.
So that's where the light shines.
That's
right?
the light
shine on the Compton.
For some reason, I keep getting pulled back to. I don't live in Compton. I live in Bellflower, but for some reason, I keep getting pulled back to Compton. So there's something in Compton that we need to do. So I said, okay, let's do it.
Now, I know there's one big course down there. Was it Dominga? Isn't there a big course on the edge of Compton there?
There's a
Compton Par 3.
There's a Compton Par 3. Then you got the Los Amigos in Downey. Then you got Rio Hondo. You got Chester, Washington, and Lele. You got a couple of courses in Long Beach, Lakewood.
Right.
But yeah, there's no really. Oh, Victoria is not far from it too.
Okay.
But and we like small courses because what are we trying to do? Teach basics. To get a kid in a regulation course, for example, Los Amigos, to do what?
Yeah.
18 holes. No.
Well, you just in what you're telling me here. Now I know why I'm so bad. You went
from A to Z without going through the rest of the alphabet.
What do most people do when they want to try and take up? We go to a driving range and we start driving. We don't think about the putting unless we go to a miniature golf course later. We got to take a commercial break. Coach Mike here, Kids in Sports. We'll be back in a minute.
Looking for a delicious, fresh family meal that's ready when you are and easy on your budget? Welcome to Piara Pizza. We make our pizzas with handmade dough, 100% real cheese, and tomato sauce blended with our own spices. Nothing is ever frozen. We always have large pepperoni and cheese pizzas fresh and waiting for you for only $5. Or choose one of our specialty pizzas. We have veggie, meat lovers, supreme, and Hawaiian. Add an order of our amazing hot wings, cheesy bread, or breadsticks. Our locations are ultra-modern, ultra-clean, and open 7 days a week. Visit any one of our locations today, or check us out on the web at www.piarapizza.com. Piara Pizza. Fresh, hot, and ready for you when you come in. Stop in for your Piara Pizza today.
We're the Brothers Bear Podcast Live, and I'm your host, Sanch, and I'm always joined by
Edgar.
Carlos Medrano, and this is a show where we talk about
comics, movies, TV, video games, stand-up, music, and many more geeky things.
Catch us live on Rant Radio Network on Mondays from 7:30 to 8:30 p.m.
That's another commercial in the bag.
What up, foodie freaks? It's Chef Bev Lazo with the Culinary Trend Show. Join me and my brigade every Thursday night from 8 to 9 p.m. where we will be cooking up some crazy stuff that will give you the appetite for discussion. It's all about the good food, good friends, and good times. Only here on RantRadioNetwork.com.
DM Narc Radio Show is now airing on the Rant Radio Network. You've heard the three guys Rant refer to us as the Clam Chowder Power Hour. Now we get to bring our New England humor over to Los Angeles. We'll be airing Friday at 2 p.m. Pacific, 5 Eastern, and we'll cover everything from local to national politics and news. Guess what? We're uncensored too. I'm Dave. Join me and Nick Friday on the Rant Radio Network.
3 balls, 2 strikes, the pitch. Swing it.
Make your team look like pros with custom lineup cards. Whether you are a travel team, rec team, all-star team, or just some old guys playing slow pitch, we can make your team look a little better with some custom lineup cards. For the umpire, for the opponent, for the scorekeeper, for the dugout, no matter where your lineup card goes, you will look like a big league team with your team logo and name on top of your personalized lineup card. Just visit CustomLineupCards.com. With the best prices in town, you are sure to hit a home run with us. Visit CustomLineupCards.com and go pro.
Finally figured out what I was doing wrong all these years. Thanks, guys. I appreciate that. I say it's good to get these guys to the show. Coach Mike here. Kidz and Sports with my co-host Alex Alanis. I got Louis Batson and Mauricio Ramirez from Help Youth Through Golf. And I just found out what I do. So many people, I'm sure not everybody, but so many people go out and first thing we do is we go to a driving range and we hit balls. And we think, oh, hey, boy, look at me. I'm hitting that thing 300 yards. Just like the home run derby. We love home runs in baseball and softball, and we love touchdowns. So we go out in the driving range. Oh, man, look at me. I can drive it. So far, of course, then Tiger comes up probably and hits another. I heard a comment one time. They said he hits the ball so hard. And one of the other pros, and I forget which one it was, when he first started out, there was one of the other pros that came on and said, and he was hitting like 300 yards. And he says Tiger knocked it 50 yards past him. Mm-hmm. It was just amazing. But before we came on today, Louis, you were telling me the reason you played a little bit of golf, but you didn't play competitively in high school or college, or because you saw how much time it would take. How much time? Tell us your story there.
Well, I grew up. I was born and raised in Panama. Joined the service 74. Retired in 94. And when I retired, my mom told me, "Well, what you gonna do now? You can't run around a soccer field or baseball field. What you gonna do?" And before I answered, she suggested golf. I said, golf? Mom, golf is an old man sport. She looked at me and told me, where you think you're going?
You're not getting younger, huh?
You're not getting younger.
Might as well get good at it, right?
Yeah, might as well get at it.
You have a head start.
Yes. So I, took up the game, and I got good at it. I thought I was good. I ended up in shooting 70s, 76, 70, 77. And it took a lot of time. And I said, wow, how can I take it to the next level? Well, being married, having a family, responsibility, it takes too much time to get to that next level. I said, you know what?
You say a lot of time. What was a lot of time to get 76s?
A lot of time. I used to spend 3-4 hours practicing, chipping.
Every day?
Every day.
Chipping.
Every day. Every day.
There's no way to raise a family that way.
There's no way to raise a family. You see, I retired from the service, then had a little time in between. So when I took up the game, I was really practicing, and said, hey, this is not making the money here. So got work, and and I still used to practice. a couple of hours a day here or whatever. On Saturdays, I spend the whole Saturday on chipping and putting and pitching in the bunker. It's still trying to get the game better. You don't perfect.
I got a lot of practice in the bunkers. It wasn't intentional.
No. I used to go to a different practice area. For example, Skylink have a very nice practice area, and you know that's another thing. You can go practice in these chipping areas and pitching area, putting area for free. You can spend 5-6 hours here, and you don't spend a dime. You take your own balls.
People don't realize that.
No, exactly.
Do any of the courses that chase you off for doing it if you're not buying?
No, they
don't care. Huh?
No, they won't.
Okay.
They don't care.
Well, thanks for telling me that.
Yeah, they don't care.
I'm going to be hitting the golf course soon.
But the first thing we want to do, we want to get a couple of clubs and we want to run to the range. Wrong.
Yeah.
Wrong. No, get some instructions or get a friend that think you know how to play and kind of work with him. You know, and then again, stay away from the driving range. A driving range to me is you gonna spend money. I'm into not spending money. I'm into playing golf as cheap as I can, but learning it as best as I can. By again putting, chipping, pitching, short game. You know, a guy told me when I was first started. The name is Greg Welch. He said, "Louis, learn the game from the green to the tee, not from the tee to the green. From the green to the tee, I'm backing up from the green. I'm putting, chipping, pitching, half swing, 3/4 and stuff like that. But in the driving range, what am I doing? I'm getting my driver, my long clubs in my hand, and there's no putting and chipping in the driving range. You're hitting balls in the driving range.
Right.
Wrong way to learn.
Well,
I think.
Such logic, though. What do we do with everything else in life? Mm-hmm. We start small, and what do we do throwing in softball? We start close, and we gradually get to long toss.
Exactly.
We don't do it the other way around, and why do we do that in golf? And
we want to see the ball go far. But the ball
Coach Mike, turn your mic a little bit. We're losing you.
You're losing me? Can't lose me. I'm the host.
There you go. Thank
I'm
you,
the
sir.
star here. Wait a minute. No.
You're the VIP in the room.
I'm the VIP. No, these guys are the VIP. Especially now that I'm gonna have to go learn my golf. Maybe I haven't done it long enough now.
I got the itch, you know.
Now if we're getting thanks a lot, Arvin. You're gonna get us in trouble now because all of a sudden we're gonna have if 100 people start flocking to all these golf courses. We just want to use your bunker, your sand.
Oh, can you imagine that? There'd be a lot of people coming out of the place.
One thing that dawns on me, I got plenty of time here. One of the things that dawns on me, Louis, golf has always been an etiquette game. We were talking about, for those people that didn't realize, golf originally stood for gentlemen only, ladies forbidden. And for years, ladies couldn't play. They wouldn't be allowed on the golf course even. Of course, that's changed. But golf has always been a game of etiquette.
Yes.
And it's overcome some racial boundaries. I don't know why Tiger was the first one, because there was the guy before 20 years before Tiger. There was the one guy when you had
Hogan,
you had
Palmer.
Ballesteros. No, but you had an African American guy who was way before Tiger. When you had Seve Ballesteros was the Spain guy. Remember that?
I don't know why Bagger Vance is coming to.
No, not there. Who was the other guy? Torino, not Torino.
Seve Ballesteros.
And it was
Seve.
There was another guy
before him.
There was another guy, Chichi Rodriguez.
Chichi Rodriguez.
Yeah. Okay. But it seemed to me there was another African American guy that was pretty good back then.
Calvin Peets.
Maybe there was.
Calvin Peets. Yeah,
but
pretty good.
we've overcome the racial side. Although I heard they tried to dig up a little bit again. In some areas, that argument is still going on. But regardless of race or anything else, golf has always been a game of etiquette. Like you're saying, considering other people. How do the kids buy into that? Because that's one thing the kids today, it seems like a lot of them don't care about etiquette, or maybe they're not taught at home. I don't know.
They learn as they go. When they first come, we know, hey, look, I'm first. It's me. But we do things as a group. So when we practicing, it's his turn to hit the ball, her turn to hit the ball, so it's not just one. Okay, I'm the best, I want to hit more. No. We break it down where everybody is equal here. And they may need more practice than you do. You better, but why? You better because you have more time to practice, not because you have more ability. No. So we keep it simple, and we keep it fair for all the kids. Yeah.
And we talked a little bit too at the break about it being a mental game as well.
Oh gosh, yeah, that's what lost me from playing golf. Reasons I say that, I was pretty good. Again, I thought I was pretty good. I was shooting 70s. I was shooting 75, 76. I said, yeah, I got this game lick. And then I went to an instructor and said, hey, because I wanted to straighten out the slice that I had. He said, well, you need to do this, need to do that. You got a pretty good swing. How long you been playing for about a year? He said, you've been playing for about a year and you got this good of a swing? I said, yeah. Well, I'm telling you what, golf is 90% mental and 10% physical. You see, for me to go to the next level, I needed to be more mentally prepared, and I wasn't.
But wait a minute, you said you're shooting mid-70s with a slice?
Yeah, with a slice. With a slice, because I know where to play. If it's going to go right, where do you start? Start on the left.
You calculated in there. Okay,
it's compensated.
Yeah, compensated.
Well, no, some courses, some holes you got to, because you have dog legs that sometimes you want to slice or a hook a little bit.
And then I learned, hey, if the driver's giving me trouble, okay, tee off with an iron. I used to play with guys that drove me by 50, 60 yards, but you know what? We was right around the same score, because I was on in regulation. They was on in regulation too. It was all about putting.
Yeah, and that was your strong point.
There you go, putting.
Yeah,
it's all about putting.
Right there.
Mauricio, did you get down to the 70s like this guy?
Yeah.
Are you
No,
that good?
Like this. I'm trying to get there.
You trying to get there? Do you play quite a bit now?
Not lately. I had a shoulder injury, so that's what led me to just helping out the kids for now till I'm able to get back out there.
Okay.
But yeah, it's a goal to just going back and playing my game now.
I had a similar story to what you got, Lewis, when bowling. I was bowling in Downey. Remember Wonder Bowl before they tore it up?
Oh, yeah.
A great bowling alley. And but anyway, the 1 year I shot 156 average, and I was bowling 2 or 3 leagues. Went to Beverly Bowl with some guys at work, and I had a 170 game with no spares. It was like strike open. I couldn't make a spare to save my life, and I was mad. There was a lady named Virginia Norton there who was a pro bowler, and I took some lessons from her, and she showed me how to make the spares. So in 1 year, I went from 156 to 183 in 2 leagues. Well, you have to have a 195 for 2 years to go on the PBA. Doesn't mean you're going to make any money there. That just means you get the card, right? So I'm thinking, oh boy, I'm ready to go pro. And so I was bowling 7 leagues a week. Plus, and I ended up getting tendonitis in my arm, ruined my arm, and because all of a sudden, but it was like that. It was like, oh wow, I got this thing down.
Yeah.
So like you said, you get that one little bit of success.
And injuries.
You want to jump ahead. You want to skip.
Yeah.
You want to skip ahead.
We're not trying to create no professional golfers. If they have the ability, great. If they put in the work, great. But then they got to find other instructors, PGA instructors and stuff like that. All we want to do is put a club in hand of kids that can't afford it. Pretty much it.
You give them an experience they may not have otherwise.
Yeah.
And guide them. I mean, they might end up liking the sport so much that they'll end up playing in high school.
Mm-hmm.
And after that, and that's the goal for them, to get to that level that they could actually play in high school, to be able to get a scholarship to go to college. And some of the kids in Compton, I mean, they don't have that opportunity to play golf anywhere else for free, and they come to us. I mean, we pretty much teach them the basics to get them ready for the next step to when they go to high school, and then they have their high school coach, and they get to know more about golf than anything, and get them prepared for a college career in golf later on.
Well, I've got 6 kids. I may not look like it, but I have 6.
Bring them down.
Six. I'm telling you, I have one of my kids, Madison. She's my stepdaughter, but I've always thought about, or I'm always struggling with things to trying to get my kids involved in, keep them off the street, right? And we're coming up on a break. We'll take that on the next.
You're lucky we got that break. I was coming up. I was putting something together. I was gonna get you good.
Oh no, he's already thrown me into the bus.
Kids and Sports here on the Rant Radio Network in the Rant Radio Towers. We'll be back in just a minute.
The Holy Grounds.
What up, foodie freaks? It's Chef Bev Laza with the Culinary Trend Show. Join me and my brigade every Thursday night from 8 to 9 p.m. where we will be cooking up some crazy stuff that will give you the appetite for discussion. It's all about the good food, good friends, and good times. Only here on RantRadioNetwork.com.
We are the Three Guys Rant
with Arvin, Mike, and Phil.
Coming to you on the Rant Radio Network every Monday from 6 to 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. You can call us at 855-69-THE-3-GUYS.
It's not the Three Guys. This is why you should turn in, because one has Tourette's. The other one's illiterate.
You really should listen in. You never know what's going to happen.
855-69-3-GUYS. G-U-Y-S and the number 3, not the.
Faces for radio, voices for the deaf.
Look forward to talking to you.
Hey, I'm audio candy. I don't know about you guys.
TheTicketSurgeon.com. Reach us at 855-WIN-4-199.
Did you get caught speeding, texting while driving? Anything else you weren't supposed to do?
Give us a call. Don't miss work. Don't lose out on the money. Don't get any more points. What about your insurance? Let us fight for you. TheTicketSurgeon.com at 855-WIN-4-199.
3 balls, 2 strikes, the pitch.
Make your team look like pros with custom lineup cards. Whether you are a travel team, rec team, all-star team, or just some old guys playing slow pitch, we can make your team look a little better with some custom lineup cards. For the umpire, for the opponent, for the scorekeeper, for the dugout, no matter where your lineup card goes, you will look like a big league team with your team logo and name on top of your personalized lineup card. Just visit CustomLineupCards.com. With the best prices in town, you are sure to hit a home run with us. Visit CustomLineupCards.com and go pro.
Because I want to hear this.
You want to hear that? Okay. We're going to get to a couple things. Coach Mike here. Kids in Sports. The Rant Radio Network. We're on our second hour already. Isn't that cool?
Top of the hour.
Yeah, you can give us a call at 855-693-4897 or 969-RANT, 855-969-7268. Give us a call if you got a question for my guest or even for me. I guess I can answer something. I don't know if it's about golf. I'm going to pass it off to them anyhow. Alex, you started I want to go to something we were talking about playing in high school and college and stuff, but during the break, you were talking a little bit. Go ahead and expand
just real quick. I have 6 kids. One of my stepdaughters is somewhat introverted, and I'm always afraid trying to get her involved in something, right? And now that we're talking about it, golf sounds like to be a good alternative. And so earlier, you guys were talking about starting off maybe in elementary, it kind of overflows into high school, and I've always seen golf in another light because I'm not a golfer. Of it being, I've always heard this. When you're on the golf course, you're making some of the best deals, right? You're meeting people that, you're rubbing elbows with the rich, so to speak, right? I went to Lucerna High School, so the Friendly Hills golf course is right there, and this is where all the millionaires are playing golf and what have you. So, more of a comment, if anything, but just to get your sentiment on that whole issue.
On a golf course, you get to meet a lot of people because if you don't have a foursome, you go as a single. They're gonna have you play with 3 people that you never met before, or if they do fivesome with 4 people that you never met before. And in 4 to 6 hours, because sometimes it takes 6 hours to play a 18 hole now, you will meet somebody, you're gonna talk to somebody, and you're gonna make some connections. And who knows? You may end up getting a job. You may end up getting make a business deal or a contact for business deal. You don't know what you're gonna get out of that playing that round of golf. Yes.
Might make a new enemy too.
I'll tell you.
Especially if you're throwing the club at him.
If you're throwing the clubs at him. Well, you know what that reminds me of? It reminds me of the movie Jackass, where they were lighting fireworks while people were driving. I think they were driving or putting or something, but they were lighting fireworks. And finally, the guy comes around and he throws the club at him. I don't know if you saw that.
That was the movie. You know, let me talk real life. He talked about teaching the kids safety. One of the things you need to teach is you make sure everybody's out of your way before you hit.
Yes.
I was playing at Skylinks one time, and there was one of the holes there was like back under the trees. So the tee was back under the trees, and then you hit out in the open. And the group ahead of us was like down there where the dog leg sort of turned. And the guy hit the ball or something, and I thought, you know, he was getting ready to move on. And so I thought, okay, I can tee up now. He gets in his cart, and so I start swinging it. He doesn't go anywhere. And I hit the ball bounced right in front of him. I hit a straight shot, no slice. The ball bounced right in front of him, and it bounced right through his cart. Right, he's sitting here like this, and the ball bounced right in front of him. I was like, no, I'm sorry. He saw it. It was one of the best shots I've ever made, you know. So you never know. We're talking about high school and college, and one of the similarities I saw in doing my homework for this show was the golf scholar people trying to get scholarships. And there's a lot of sentiment in the softball world that high school is a joke, and I'm sorry to say that. I don't agree with that statement, but I understand where it comes from, because there are a lot of high schools that maybe don't have a strong program. And you're going to have a lot of kids that aren't elite players, where some high schools have their whole roster might be elite players. I found a New York Times article, and this is from 2012, and it's talking about a kid named Will Thompson. Adam Shupak is the guy that wrote this article, and he's talking about this kid who shot a 78, 11 years old. Okay, which that's pretty good, because 11-year-old, how hard is he going to hit the ball? So right there, he's shooting on a regular course, shooting a 78. So he's way better than me, of course. He could probably beat me blindfolded.
He's good at his putting game.
But in one of the comments, he's good at everything apparently here. In one of the comments he made, he went in the 1400 division, and it says he's going to get a Team USA bag before he gets one from his high school. And it goes on, high school golf has become irrelevant on the recruiting trail for college coaches who are flocking to junior tournaments to identify the best young talent. Now, softball, we have showcases. Now, part of the reason they don't go to the high school tournaments as much in softball or baseball is because they're the same time as the college sport. So they don't have time to come and see as much. So that's why travel ball has become important. But they go on to say that, let's see, where is it? The void, and it's the time where they're saying golf is down, except for junior golf. According to the National Golf Foundation, the sport's vital signs, rounds played, golf facilities developed, and participation are all down. But the arena of junior competitive golf has been one of sport's few growth categories. And what's that? Scholarships, right? Yeah. Parents thinking, here's a jackpot to give my kid a scholarship, right? Per the void, we feel the void Hamblin refers to exists at the high school level, where golf does not receive anywhere near the same treatment as football, basketball, or baseball. How true. Matches are often 9 holes, and qualified instruction is rare. So is the likelihood of obtaining a college golf scholarship based on one's high school golf record. About 120 college coaches attended the United States Junior Amateur Championship. So I had a guest on about a month ago. Lewis was talking about how parents get too crazy about getting scholarships because 1% of the kids actually get a scholarship. 1% of high school seniors actually get a scholarship. And I like to see a little different number, because I think there's some kids that don't care about the athletic scholarships. I think you're talking 2 or 3% if you bring it down to athletes. But golf is something where I've heard before that there are unused scholarships, and I'm looking at a website here. Get Golfing Girls is the name of this website. Get Golfing Girls. Take advantage of unused women's golf scholarships. Each year there's a number of women's golf scholarships that go unused. Unfortunately, many girls aren't aware that these scholarships are available or know what requirements are needed to obtain them. There are nearly 70,000 girls who play high school golf in the United States. Of those girls, only 12% go on to play college. In 2009, of the estimated 1,800 girls' golf scholarships available, more than 200 went unused. 200 just for the girls. How many more for the guys? Maybe I don't know.
Exactly, and with the guys, it may not be so big of a number, but yes, with the girls is a huge number because how many girls are playing it? You find pockets of in like in different golf courses, different cities, that are playing golf. Most other cities don't know about golf. Other cities and it's not the city, is an individual thing when it comes down to it. You see, because again, I grew up playing soccer, main sport. Why do I want to think about golf?
Right.
And matter of fact, to the this past week and a half, I've been recruiting kids to play high school in Compton because I'm going to be the coach for Compton High School.
Oh, okay, cool.
And I ask kids, and what they walking through with the parents, say, hey, would you like to try out golf? We want to play golf. And they look at me like I was from another planet. I am from another planet, but you see, golf. We train with those 4 major sports: soccer, baseball, football, and basketball, softball, and that's how we worked around. Well, what about tennis, swimming, golf?
Right.
No, I won't say polo because you need a horse.
But
water polo.
Water polo.
Yeah, but we don't look at those things, and and that's what we need to do. We need to look at other sports, because I used to play soccer, but you know what? Out of the 20-something kids that was in soccer, I was somewhere in the middle.
You weren't the star.
No, I wasn't. So the top kid is going to be looked at. But yes, we don't want to just focus on sport for scholarship. Grades is first. But if the kid has some type of ability, why not? But in order for you to find that ability, you need to be exposed to different type of sports.
You gotta try.
Yeah, you gotta try.
Well,
Speaking of soccer, Luis, what is your take on soccer being sometimes a scoreless sport?
It is.
There's a well-known talk show that says soccer is not a sport, and he says because how can any sport end up with a score of 0-0? And so.
And then it goes into penalty. And no matter fact, they were 15 minutes, then it goes into sometimes 0-0.
Yeah, sometimes it ends at 0, but Coach Mike has always given me a lot of flack about that because I played soccer 8 years and my brother played professional. So
hey, show me some respect, boy.
So Coach Mike's always giving me a lot of
flack
about that.
This is Alex we're talking about here.
But no, soccer, and then you get some sports, if you're not involved in it, are really boring. Right. Golf is a boring game.
It can be
for people that don't understand it.
Boring to watch. I can't watch golf.
I gotta play.
I gotta be out there.
I gotta be out there.
If
you're not teaching it or playing it, forget it. You're not gonna get into it. You're gonna look at change channels. You could have a major event. One of the 4 majors that happen. You're not looking at it. You're not into golf.
I kind of see it a little bit, Luis, because I'm a musician as well. Mm-hmm. My wife has always given me flack about, I don't like that kind of music and that kind of thing. And the way that I'm looking at it is more, you don't realize or appreciate the music until you know how hard it is. So I think when you're playing golf, not until you're on the course and you're actually playing the game, do you then realize, wow, I was watching something and it was boring, but not until they're on the course and playing it themselves, they realize how boring it really isn't.
Mm-hmm. Yes, it is.
Thanks, Mr. Manny, for that.
That's exactly what happened to me. I was like, I never tried. I played every sport, but it wasn't until I got out there to actually play golf that I was like, man, this is pretty cool. I'm gonna keep on coming, and I kept on going every weekend and during the week, just go to the driving range, and it just came part of my life, and the structure of just being out there focused completely took everything else, all the issues, all the problems out of my mind, because I just focused on golf, and it was just like distracting.
That little kid that you saw flashing there, Justin, he's 6 years old. He was 6 years old. I worked with him a little from 6 to 7. He should be 8. That kid is number 23 or 26 in the world. In the world, in Callaway. In the world.
He's got a good stance.
That kid started playing at the year 2 in Pampers. Parents, they used to live in Texas. They moved to California so the kid could have better weather for golf. At 2 years. Commitment.
Wow.
Wow, that's
commitment to that
that's
kid.
impressive.
I need to take a break. I'm so on by now. We got to take a break here. Coach Mike, Kids and Sports at the Rant Radio Network. Come and join us. Have some fun.
We are the Three Guys Rant with Arvin, Mike, and Phil.
Coming to you on the Rant Radio Network every Monday from 6 to 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. You can call us at 855-69 The Three Guys.
It's not the Three Guys. This is why you should turn in, because one has Tourette's, the other one's illiterate.
You really should listen in. You never know what's going to happen.
855-69-3-GUYS, G-U-Y-S, and the number 3, not the.
Faces for radio, voices for the deaf.
Look forward to talking to you.
Hey, I'm audio candy. I don't know about you guys.
What up, foodie freaks? It's Chef Bev Lazo with the Culinary Trend Show. Join me and my brigade every Thursday night from 8 to 9 p.m. where we will be cooking up some crazy stuff that will give you the appetite for discussion. It's all about the good food, good friends, and good times. Only here on rantradionetwork.com.
DM Narc Radio Show is now airing on the Rant Radio Network. You've heard the Three Guys Rant refer to us as the Clam Chowder Power Hour. Now we get to bring our New England humor over to Los Angeles. We'll be airing Friday at 2 p.m. Pacific, 5 Eastern, and we'll cover everything from local to national politics and news. Guess what? We're uncensored too. I'm Dave. Join me and Nick Friday on the Rant Radio Network.
We're the Brothers Bear Podcast Live, and I'm your host, Sanj, and I'm always joined by
Edgar,
Carlos Madrano, and this is a show where we talk about
comics, movies, TV, video games, stand-up, music, and many more geeky things.
Catch us live on Rant Radio Network on Mondays from 7:30 to 8:30 p.m.
That's another commercial in the bag.
Boom, boom, boom. Are we back? Okay, we're back.
Right. Bang, bang.
Coach Mike Arvin, if you would put that young man up that we had up before taking that golf swing. Luis and I have a very similar philosophy. I talk about it in softball. So many coaches want to try to be the answer to everything. They want to get more of the glory, and the kids deserve the glory.
Yes.
I'm glad just to be a part of their life. If they get a scholarship, fine. That's they are the ones that earned it. And a lot of coaches help. Maybe, one might have helped a little more than another. You're talking about the young man here. Tell us about it. At a certain point, you passed him on.
This kid, again, he used to live in Texas. 2 years in Pampers. Dad used to take him hitting balls. And so they moved from Texas. That was 2 years. So they moved from Texas down to California so the kid could have better weather to play golf. Now, he's playing in the Callaway Tour, Callaway Championship. He was playing in other tours, but it was too much because it was playing almost every weekend. And that's too much for 6, 7, 8 year old. Yeah, for a little kid. So when the kids come to us and we train, if they gotta go because they have the basic, they want to go to some places, go. We there for the kids that want to learn, the kids that can't afford it. If you have a kid that also can afford it, then you want to bring it. We don't say no to nobody. If you can afford it, great, come on over. If you can't afford it, come on over. But Yeah, that it's number 20,
At some point
23,
you say
26 and more.
You need a better coach. Time to
Exactly,
move up.
because we're not going to move from Compton, a small course. We always want to be in a golf course, Compton, Norwalk, Artwell, where kids can learn. If you take a kid to a big course, a 18-hole golf regulation course, you can't really play. So you spend more time hitting balls on the range than really putting and chipping. You don't go to big course like that to putt and chip unless you know what to do, and you just go to, hey, let's go putt and chip, and we're going to spend 2-3 hours just putting and chipping. Other than that, the kid is at the range hitting balls. Next thing you know, if you hit a bucket of ball could be $10, and then if you hit 2 buckets, that's $20 a day just hitting balls, and the ball's gone. So take the kids practice.
It doesn't come back when you hit it?
They don't come back.
Well, it's kind of like what you're saying. There's a lot more to the game than just driving.
Yes, my thing is basic fundamentals. Short game. I love to see my drive go 250 yards, but then it goes 250 yards and go make a left or right turn, I'm behind a tree. But if I learn to play the game for example, short, and then I go to 150, and if I can control that distance, I should do pretty well on the golf course. I don't have to hit my driver. I can play an 18-hole with a 3-iron off the tee.
Or with a 7-iron like Kevin Costner.
That's
did.
a little too much for me.
I love that.
Yeah.
You ever see Tin Cup, Alex?
Sure I did.
I love that part where he gets mad, he breaks all his clubs, but he's only got a 7-iron, and but it shows a good lesson on ego, because he's sitting around after that. He's with his buddy there with they used to be in one of the one of the other movies, Don Johnson, and he says, have you ever shot par with a 7-iron? He says, never. It never occurred for me to try it.
Yeah.
So, but a little lesson there on that. We were talking about the different sports, and one that came to mind, lacrosse, is always sort of considered to be a rich sport or elite sport for here, and that's sweeping the country, and a lot of high schools are getting it. So golf is changing that degree. Do you still have the people like here at Compton? Is there still people that think golf here? I mean,
yes, a lot of them do, but again, I'm just looking for that 1 or 2 kids or 1 or 2 parents that want to expose get to it. Golf is never going to attract the masses. No, it's not. It's too much. It's too much mental.
We're too impatient.
Exactly, we're too impatient. We're into high speed. A lot of contact.
Contact sports.
Look over sports. The 4 major sports. Baseball, basketball, football, and soccer. They said soccer is a non-contact sport. Yeah, tell me another story. Soccer's a contact sport.
That's my shins.
I broke my ankle in soccer, so that's very contact.
Yeah, it's a lot of contact. Now you go from fast-paced, high contact to stop, swing, slow down, think before you even swing the club. Yeah,
and wait for the other guy to stop, swing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
There's a lot of slowing down that you got to do, standing around. But you know what? You're developing that mental, because if you're not working on that mental, you're not gonna do it. You're just not gonna do it.
It's the biggest muscle in the body.
Yeah.
I can just imagine. I haven't been on a golf course lately, but the way everybody's walking around with their cell phone glued to their face, are they doing? Yeah.
I caddy at the country club at San Gabriel. Yeah, and some of those guys. Girls, ladies, they have money. They rich. There's this guy here. I hope I'm not. he owns the Panda Express. Well, he's on the course hitting balls on between balls, or even it's turn to hit, and he's talking on the phone.
He's a busy man.
He's a busy man. I don't know how he finds time to play golf.
Oh man, I tell you, it'd be crazy out there.
Yeah.
I think that biggest thing is that patience.
Patience.
Because we talked about at the break.
Yeah.
We're all
patience.
Our life is geared to getting somewhere in a hurry. In golf, you're not going to be here now. I've heard they've improved Skylinks since but Skylinks, the second 9, you'd wait 20 minutes to get going on the second 9.
They improve the golf courses, and yes, some people are not going to the golf course, but a lot of people are still going to the golf course, and the golf course will get an 18-hole golf course. I mean, a public golf course are getting swamped. And again, they may not be attracting more, new golfers, adult-wise, but they're attracting a lot of kids. But then again, the kids can't play those big courses unless they're really good. Because if you have a kid that not shooting well, why take him out there? It's torture. You gonna put that kid to some torture, and the mental. You want to protect that mental part of the game, not just the game. Because you know what, we use the brain for everything in life. And you don't want to. Well, if you destroy his confidence in the golf course, you may destroy his confidence in a classroom or in life.
This is true of every sport. We
Yeah.
keep saying
that is
now,
true.
that young man that you had up there, is he going to get burned out before he's 15?
He may, because he plays so much. But you know, one thing I've noticed from Justin, he loves hitting the golf ball. Okay. We have another kid like that, Matthew. He started with us at 5 years old. He walked up to his parents and said, "Hey, I want to play golf." Golf? I play soccer. This is his dad talking. What you talking? I play soccer. Okay, I want to play golf. And Matthew been with us for a year. Matthew's going to turn into a pretty good golfer. But the thing with Matthew, he have fun. Matthew goes. What a 5 or 6 year old supposed to do? Have fun.
Yeah.
So if
that's his thing.
Have fun. And Matthew's going to act goofy. Matthew's going to hit a couple of good balls. And I tell Matthew, hey, don't worry about this stuff. When you start stressing out when you have a couple of kids. And I told that to his parents too. They
just a
laugh.
few, right?
Yeah, just a few.
We know another example, and some people might be down to me to use it, but my daughter has a dog named Charlie. We call him our grand doggy. That dog loves to play ball. Our Shih Tzu we have, she could care less about a ball. She might pull a rag doll out of the toy and shake it around, but she will not chase a ball. Charlie, when she brings him over, because we got a big backyard, I can throw that ball for half an hour, back and forth, and he'll play hide and seek. I can go hide, and he'll come and find me. And I can't hide very many places because his nose is good. But he tells me when he needs a rest. If he needs a rest, he'll bring the ball back to about 10 feet from me, and he'll sit down and look at me and drop the ball and leave it there. Yeah. And when he's ready, if I just wait a minute or two, then he'll get up and bring me the ball and say, okay, let's play. And he'll go, and somebody wears me out. And I said, Charlie, and you wonder how can you do it. Those are the kids, if the parents see that, let them play the sport because, they're not going to get burned out because that's what they're loving to do. And if they get tired of it at some point, respect that if they say I've had enough.
Exactly. My 6-year-old granddaughter, I love, 5-year-old, I wanted to take her to the course. I did take her to the course, but at Cerritos Ironwood, and they have this duck pond. Well, guess what? I was taking her to play golf and learn golf. She was going to the course to
see the duck.
Feed the duck.
Well, that's her thing, right?
She was more interested in the duck than playing golf. And it's been a year, and she's still not ready. But sometimes we go in the backyard, and she, Grandpa, watch my swing, she's not ready. If she ever get ready, she'll go with me. If she's not ready, she's not ready. Yeah.
We need more coaches to hear that lesson. I'm saying we need to hear, and I may one of the things I may have to see about doing is getting a clip of this with that little segment of what you just said right there. If the kids aren't ready, parents don't push them. Coaches don't let them. There's a difference between giving them a little encouragement. Sometimes kids need a little kick in the butt to, because sometimes they do sort of, but that's fine. But there's a difference between that and forcing them into something maybe they're not ready for.
I used to, when I was in service, I coached youth sports for 16 years. And I was always coaching baseball and soccer. My main two sports. I did a little basketball, but just happened the kids that I coached in the other sports wanted to play basketball. Say, hey, we don't have a coach. Can you be a coach? So I ended up being basketball coach too. I coached with that. That was in Germany. I coached with that in that Little League so long that the lady that was in charge of Little League at the youth service YA, my son used to play with me, and she'll put me to the side and say, Louis, you're too hard on your son. And it wasn't, my wife was there, and then my wife would pull me, hey, you need to back up. You need to back off.
Well, there's a natural tendency there. We
back off.
My daughter was on a travel team one time, and the other coach had his daughter, and so they were both pitchers, and we sort of had a deal. I'll take care of I'll sort of instruct your daughter or talk to her about things. So we leave that out of there, where we had to part ways at one point. He decided, well, he was gonna. It was okay for him to do his daughter, and type of thing. So we said, okay. Yeah. But it is harder to coach your own kids because, well, there are just so many things involved. We'll get it after the break. Coach Mike here, Kids in Sports, with my guests from Help Youth Through Golf. I love the idea. We'll be back in a minute.
Hey, bro, this is a good game. You know what would make it better?
What, bro?
A michelada.
Michelada? What's a michelada?
A michelada is somewhere in the middle of a Mexican Bloody Mary and a Mexican margarita.
Oh, I got you covered, bro.
You got a cup in your pocket?
No, sir. I got my pocket-sized michelada. Mucho macho michelada.
Pocket size?
Pocket size, so you can take it with you anywhere you go.
Where'd you get that at?
At the nearest convenience store, and you can also buy it at muchomachomichelada.com.
You know what will make it better? After we get drunk, if they had a line we could call.
We can call their drunk line. You can leave a message and then log on to the site and listen to your stupidity afterwards.
What's that number?
It's 855-MICHE-69.
What's that number again?
855-MICHE-69.
Awesome. Mucho macho michelada.
The experts know that for pastry, Baker's Bodega has it all. Exclusive brands like Westco Bankmark, Satin Ice, and Pastry Pride. One-on-one day seminars for cake decorating and gelatin art. So for our service, wide range of ingredients and supplies, and for the low prices, Baker's Bodega has it all. But you don't need to be an expert. Baker's Bodega, 7869 Paramount Boulevard in Pico Rivera. Come, we're waiting for you.
Ticketsurgeon.com. Reach us at 855-WIN-4199.
Did you get caught speeding, texting while driving, or doing anything else you weren't supposed to do?
Give us a call. Don't miss work. Don't lose out on the money. Don't get any more points. What about your insurance? Let us fight for you. Ticketsurgeon.com at 855-WIN-4199.
Welcome to the Monster Marketing Group, your one-stop shop for all your marketing needs. Anything you need to make that marketing and advertising campaign stand out, we're your people. Concepts, design, production, social media, anything that you can dream up, we're going to make happen for you. And we can do it in a very quick turnaround. Please give us a call at 888-49-MONSTER.
Coach Mike, Kids in Sports on the Rant Radio Network. Maybe I just need to swallow this thing a little bit better when we get there. Again, we're having more fun during the break, so I think what I better do, because we're coming down to the end of our 2 hours, we're having so much fun here, and I always forget. The last segment always sneaks up on me, and I say, we're going to go to the oh, wait a minute, it's 11 o'clock, we're done, right? So, Louis, tell us, if somebody wants to help you out, either financially or volunteer as a coach or whatever, how do they get a hold of you?
They can get a hold of us at our website, www.hytg.org, or my number is 562-233-9429. Mauricio?
They could also reach us through email at helpkidsgolf@yahoo.com. Or, like I said, www.hytg.org, or the telephone number 562-233-9429.
94. Now, do you still need clubs? You got a good stash? You always need clubs.
We always need clubs.
Okay.
Yeah. Like right now, we're getting ready to start our second year in Compton School District. See, because we have the entire school district. Last year was little. Kind of too much because we was working with elementaries and middle school. So it was at least.
Oh, you mean you got the whole school district?
Yes, I have the whole school district, and so it's just a little taxing. So what we want to do is this year is focus on Compton have 33 schools, 22 elementary school, 8 middle school, and 3 high schools. We want to focus on the middle school, prepare the middle school, getting ready for high school golf. And that's what we want to do in Compton. And once we get Compton built, we want to take it to other district, other school district. We just want to again, I don't know why I got in Compton. God sent me there. I want to use Compton as a model, then take it to Paramount, Whittier, Linwood, wherever they need it. We want to go. Watts, it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
It's a sport. Kids like sports. You know, and I hate to you hear it every time with different sports where kids, or even kids of different, well, I can't play that sport because that's for that nationality or that's it.
Yeah.
Why? Where do we? You know, we want to get rid of that thinking. You know, somebody's always sort of putting it out there. So you're doing a great thing there to get along. This is something that can help these kids. I mean, if there's an opportunity, every kid has a different gift.
Exactly.
You believe, I think, like I do. God has given us all different gifts.
Yep.
And how do we find that? You got an opportunity to find some of them are going to be golfers.
Yeah. We have nice Marisol Jimenez, I think it is. She just volunteered. She's from Norwalk, 17 years old. She said, look, I love working with kids. I love helping kids. You know, how can I do something with your program? Well, she's on an admin board now. 17 years old. You know, that's her gift, working with kids. And ain't no telling. And she danced too. Ain't no telling where her gifts are going to take her.
You know, I got another guy to hook you up with, my friend Dennis Denny. Have you heard of the Burnaby Center in Downey there?
Yes.
Okay, Dennis, they do provide sport because the Little Lake School District cut out sports several years ago. So they came in and filled that void by providing the sports. The big payoff isn't just that he's providing the sports for these kids, but the bigger payoff is these kids, most of them go to Santa Fe High. The kids are coming back and being coaches and referees in the league for the different sports.
Exactly.
And they're doing that for their senior projects and everything else. Yeah. So, you know, I'll make sure I pass the word to Dennis because he might be able to find a few coaches for you too to help you out, you know.
And the thing with the, you know, if you're an adult and you never played golf before, we can train you. Because again, you're not going to be training Tiger Wood. You're talking to a 6, 7, 8, or 12-year-old, you know, and all they need is a basic. So it's not a matter that I'm gonna teach him how to hit a draw, I'm gonna teach him how to get a club in the hand, basic stuff, and try to hit the ball pretty straight.
There you go. Well, and we talked about it during the break. There's only one Tiger.
There's only one Tiger.
There's only one Seve Barris. There's only one Greg Norman. There's only one each. We're all different. And I always tell my softball players on my team, it's okay to admire somebody and try to learn from them, but if you try to be them, you're going to set yourself up for failure.
Exactly.
Be the best you can be.
Exactly. Yeah.
And if you do that, you're going to be successful.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, right on.
Yeah. We have a little kid from Whaley Middle School in Compton. I went to Compton last year and never played golf. He started because I go to after school. I'm not part of the after school program, but I teach him after school. You know, so his name is Christian. Now he's going to Compton, Part 3, to practice every Saturday. From a kid that never knew golf before.
There you go.
And that's what we're looking for.
How old is he?
He's Christian is 11.
11.
11, yeah. So by the time, and the thing about it, I'm going to coach Compton High School, but he's going to go to Dominguez High School.
Uh-oh. See, be careful. He's here. Hey, what are you doing?
He's drawing him
in. Is that how you pay me back? You go to the enemy? You go to the other school? What's that?
And you see, the thing is, you know, with those 8 middle school that Compton have, we want to work with those middle school to feed all 3 high schools. I don't care where the kids go. But let's learn the basic. Let's get involved in the game, and then go ahead.
Pretty cool.
We got a call on line 1, Uncle Mike.
Do we got a call? Go ahead and get that call there.
All right.
Who do we got? Hello. Welcome to Kids in Sports.
Hello, call you there?
Did you push the button, or do we have to?
Hello?
There we go.
Yes, I can hear you guys.
Ah.
I just had a question for the guests. What are some of the obstacles you faced since doing your program? Any obstacles that you faced with either the kids or or also with the parents?
They wanted to try the obstacle. Wanted to try the sport. That's the main thing. And again, it's new to them, so they're not going to just jump into it. But what you want to do is, maybe by just them seeing a friend doing it, that peer, they're going to try to do it. But we have to have one person do it in the school, and then the other kids will come around. Yeah.
A lot of kids play a sport because they want to be with a friend. They may not even know the sport that well. They want to play with their friends.
Yeah. Yesterday, I had one girl sign up, 10th grade, sign up to be in a Compton High School, and then she brought a friend, and then she brought another friend. So from one sign up, I got 3 sign up.
There you go.
Yeah.
Great. And then, what does your program cost, or how do people get in touch with, who want to go ahead and join that? How much do you charge for that?
Our program is completely free. We don't charge sign-up fee. We don't charge absolutely no fee.
Okay.
No.
All right. Great. Well, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So it's based more on like a donation type
yes,
thing. Or maybe sponsors.
Look, I intend to be rich. Okay.
You intend to?
I intend to be rich.
Hey, Lewis, let me tell you something. Just sitting here with you for just an hour, you are a rich man.
You're a rich man.
Just not maybe monetarily, because I don't know your financial situation, but just sitting here with you, you have an aura about you. You are a rich man.
Careful, Lewis. He's going to sell you some property.
Hey, if it's a property that I can build a small golf course, I'm looking for it.
That was on the Kardashians. I think my wife saw in the Kardashian thing. They were putting a putting green, I think, on their lawn.
Yeah.
I don't know if you saw that.
Yeah.
I'm not a big Kardashian fan myself,
but no, if the donation, if the cash donation come in, great. But as long as right now, we have a place to work with the kids. The kids are coming. The club donations. One thing we want to do to see if we can afford to do something like shoes. It doesn't have to be golf shoes. It could be tennis shoes. Because kids can play in tennis shoes. They don't have to have golf shoes.
Right.
And that's another avenue that we want to do.
Okay. There's a big fundraiser because I coach at Western, and I think the soccer team got a start last year. There's a big fundraiser going around. I'll forward you the email where they're getting the kids to go out and collect shoes.
There you go.
And they're paying them so much for how many shoes they collect, for that very thing. So you could almost maybe kill 2 birds with 1 stone. Pete will come after me on that one. But where you could maybe do the shoe fundraiser, and some of the shoes you can keep to use for your kids, and some you could pass on, and maybe make some more funds for the organization. So there's something for you there. I mean, I like what you're doing. Let's see how much does it cost, even if it's free. How much people were sort of trained mentally.
Mentally.
And you're saying free.
Yeah, they got to be a price and everything. No, they don't have to be a price and everything. I mean, I'm not rich yet. I'm working on it, but I can give out some time. I may be able to. With that time, I could have been making $1 here, $1 there. But what we do with those kids,
you're storing up treasures up there, my friend. But hey, what the caller mentioned too, though. What about the parents in youth sports? One of the biggest complaints from a lot of coaches. They say the big problem is the parents. I modify that because it's not all the parents; it's some parents.
Yeah.
Do you have issues with your program with parents?
Not really, because one thing we do when we get to the course, the parents stay over there, and we got the kids. If there's 1 or 2 parents that want to come and help us with the kids, they're welcome. Because you know what,
they're not competing for.
No, I'm not competing. No, we want the parents, because one thing it does, it brings that bond even closer, parent kid. So if they want to come and help, they're welcome to come and help. If they want to learn, we'll teach them how to the basic of the game.
Do you have some parents you have to tell them to back off a little bit because they're trying to push too hard, or
we haven't had that yet.
Okay.
No, good. And being in the service 20 years and 2 years as drill sergeant,
you know how to handle them. There's a tip for you, most of your coaches there. I actually, I found out when I first met Lewis or heard about him, and he gave me a brochure, sent me one online. I forgot what it was, but when he was at Norwalk, there was a girl there that's been through his program.
Mm-hmm.
I recognized the dad and the brother that I coached her at Norwalk in the league over there, Zavalas. So Sarah and Cameron, I think.
Yes, Sarah Zavalas and Cameron Zavalas. Sarah is a
she's graduated already now.
Yeah, and then they came to us 15. On another thing what we want to do too. If we start our kids earlier, they have a better chance at it.
Sure.
Cameron, he's going to be an artist. Cameron, he loves to draw and paint. He's good. Sarah, she may play softball for college. Yeah, but they both pretty smart too.
Yeah.
You see, and that's what it is. It's not. We don't just want athletes. We want kids that, you know what? Okay, we're good in school, or we want to be better in school. We want to use golf as a tool for them to learn, keep going to school. Yeah.
There you go. Coach Mike, Kids in Sports. We're talking golf today on the Rant Radio Network. We'll be back. Alex, it's there again. The final segment's coming up.
There it comes.
We'll be back.
We're the Brothers Bear Podcast Live, and I'm your host, Sanch, and I'm always joined by
Edgar, Carlos Madrano, and this is a show where we talk about
comics, movies, TV, video games, stand-up, music, and many more geeky things.
Catch us live on Rant Radio Network on Mondays from 7:30 to 8:30 p.m.
That's another commercial in the bag.
What up, foodie freaks? It's Chef Bev Lazo with the Culinary Trend Show. Join me and my brigade every Thursday night from 8 to 9 p.m. where we will be cooking up some crazy stuff that will give you the appetite for discussion. It's all about the good food, good friends, and good times. Only here on RantRadioNetwork.com.
DM Narc Radio Show is now airing on the Rant Radio Network. You've heard the three guys Rant refer to us as the Clam Chowder Power Hour. Now we get to bring our New England humor over to Los Angeles. We'll be airing Friday at 2 p.m. Pacific, 5 Eastern, and we'll cover everything from local to national politics and news. Guess what? We're uncensored too. I'm Dave. Join me and Nick Friday on the Rant Radio Network.
3 balls, 2 strikes, the pitch. Swing it.
Make your team look like pros with custom lineup cards. Whether you are a travel team, rec team, all-star team, or just some old guys playing slow pitch, we can make your team look a little better with some custom lineup cards. For the umpire, for the opponent, for the scorekeeper, for the dugout, no matter where your lineup card goes, you will look like a big league team with your team logo and name on top of your personalized lineup card. Just visit CustomLineupCards.com. With the best prices in town, you are sure to hit a home run with us. Visit CustomLineupCards.com and go pro.
Fast. We're having way too much fun, but I'm going to keep doing it as long as people keep listening. Coach Mike here. Kids in Sports and the Rant Radio Network. We've been talking golf today. I got to put a little plug in for myself to support my coaching habit and support this show. If you'd like to sponsor the show, give me a call, give me an email. We'd love to hear from you. I'd love to help promote your business. I also do graphic and web design, so you can check medesignonline.com. That's M as in Michael, E as in Eric, designonline.com. And I got great prices on business cards. I can help you out with some web drawing, whatever you need. Help me keep helping you out there, because this show is our motto. You know, I don't say it enough. Teach first, win later. And too many times we forget that out there. And yet Luis and Mauricio here remind the same thing. We need to teach first. We need to build our skills first. Too often we want that immediate gratification. We want to win right away. Slow it down. Let's teach. Let's let our kids have fun. First thing Luis said today, let the kids have some fun. If they're not having fun, they're not going to do it. They're not going to want to do it. They're going to cry about it. They're going to give you grief. Believe me. Parents, get your kids' input on what they want to do. You provide them the opportunity, whether it's golf with Lewis, whether it's softball, baseball, football, whatever it is. Let them try different things, but they're going to let you know if there's something they like. They're going to let you know about that. So, Lewis, again, what's the website?
Go ahead.
www.hytg.org.
hytg.org.
Or www.hytg.com.
And I will definitely add a link to your site for my site, so we get that going. Alex, what do you think about this?
Well, I just had a question. The caller mentioned about the cost. How often do the children have to go out to practice? I mean, what does your schedule look like during the week?
Right now, again, we do it Saturdays from 1 till 3. The school kids are out from school, but when the school starts, because I'm a caddy, I have a very flexible schedule. I don't go in every day, mainly a Saturday and Sunday, but it's going to get busier. So if I caddy in the morning, I'll have the whole afternoon to work with the kids. So, and this school year, what we're going to do, I'm going to see if I can try to work in 4 schools a week and rotate those, because I'm going to do the 8 middle schools. So I'm going to keep rotating. I mean, go to 1 school every other week, if I can. If I can do 2 schools a day, it'll be great. But as we get more volunteers, then we can do it. Yeah.
But you don't have to be a member of the school district to join your organization. It could be anybody in Southern California.
Yeah, exactly. Because when I took the program to the district, I had to get fingerprint, X-ray, stuff like that. So they did all that. Once they clear you, you can go on campus to work with the kids. So no, but you don't have to be from. I don't live in Compton. I live in Bellflower.
Well, not only that, as I was doing a search list, I don't find anybody else doing exactly what you're doing. There's a lot of programs, and that's a good thing. There's a lot of, more than I realized. Yeah. There was more youth golf program, but every one of them, $85 for one here. I saw one was $100. One of them, fees vary depending on what you're doing. How many are free out there? So you have a way to get them started. And it's a good way to find out, because I wouldn't say a complaint, but maybe one of the things that holds back on youth sports for any sport is that so many of the sports have gotten to cost so much just to get the kids involved with it.
Exactly.
That the parents say, well, it's easier to buy some pencils here. Try being an artist, or, like you say, to start out, or it's, so.
And then that's why we provide, when we started with the program, we know it was going to be unique, because it was, and a lot of people say, well, people take free for granted. Well, you know what? I don't care if 99 people take it for granted. If one benefits from it, I want to reach that one.
Okay.
See? So again, it's not going to attract the masses. It's going to attract 1 or 2 kids or 1 or 2 parents, and that's what we're here for. Yeah, that's what we're here for.
And you're going to keep going as long as you can.
Exactly.
So, like you said, you have a definite plan to expand to multiple courses.
Oh, yes.
If you got enough coaches.
Yes. Matter of fact, the meeting that I went on last Thursday.
Oh yeah, the contacts and coffee.
There was a lady there that once we have Compton built, you see, Compton is going to be a model. Compton School District is going to be a model. Once we build Compton, and we're behind because I want to have Compton set by this end of school year. As of, we're going to have it all set, and say we're going to take it to other districts and say, look, this is what we do at Compton. Do you want it in your district? And if they say no, we're walking. It's going to be whatever school district wanted. But if they say no, what are they doing with their kids? They turn their opportunity away from their kids.
Right.
But they work on to say it. I'm just looking for cities that want it, for kids that want it, and want to give it a try.
And all you're not asking for money. Give us a place to do it.
Exactly.
Give us some time on your golf course or your putting greens or whatever, and you're willing to put it together.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. I'm glad you mentioned that. Los Amigos in Downey under new management. Great people. The manager I know his first name is Mike. I went to Mike, said, hey, Mike, I have a program there with kids, we do it for free as a nonprofit. Can we bring kids to your range and hit balls? We have our own instructors. And he said, no problem, come on down. So he don't give us no hassle when we take kids, and Mauricio done it twice before. what we take, and that's what we want to do with the bigger kids. Well, the small kids still need to work on the basic, and they don't really need to hit range balls. But the bigger kids, they need to start doing some work at the range. And Mauricio taking them down there, and they hit balls at the range. Yeah.
You know, maybe a fundraiser for you is a golf tournament.
Yes.
Well, isn't that what the flyer is, Coach Mike?
I didn't even get a chance to read all of it. We got a tournament coming up?
There's no date on it, but I think this is you guys set up. Oh, I see. You got the calendar on the other side.
Yeah.
Oh, right on. So you have separate golf tournaments.
March, June, September, December. Yeah. So we still got September 7th. Well, by golly, I should have paid attention earlier. Yeah. Good thing we got a couple minutes left. We can get on this. September 7th. And where's that? Compton Par 3 Golf Course.
Exactly.
Okay, and let's see what we got here. $250 putting hole sponsor, got beverage sponsor, got a lot of opportunities here. And so if they call you or they email you or whatever, you'll get them this flyer.
Yes, sir.
And tell them how they can participate in this. Mm-hmm. And by God, let's get another one. Get on a maybe Rancho Los Amigos. You do a turn. They're always doing big tournaments in Downey or Rio Hondo, maybe one of them.
Yeah, Rio Hondo.
Get some of them in. I'd love to do some of the tournament. The biggest trap in any of these golf tournaments, all these charity golf tournaments, the longest drive hole. Because what do? And I was playing in a tournament one time, and I was actually shooting pretty well. Got to that longest drive. All I got to do is hit it a little bit harder.
Go to the right, go to the left.
It's going all over the place.
I don't know why that reminds me of a movie that I saw, Caddyshack.
Oh, I love that movie.
Where they actually string you up on some kind of machine.
Yeah.
And is that for real? I mean, that's just comedy, right? I mean,
yeah.
When I saw that, I was like, what is this?
There are some golf gadgets out there, but and they're good for whatever reason. They have this jacket or this thing or whatever. But we just deal with basics.
So you're not going to make them wear the thing with the ball hanging on their head.
That's like that. Was it Rodney Dangerfield? He hits a button and this laser thing comes out.
Yeah, that was.
And then the guy you can see down the fairway. I guess he had a pacemaker on. He's dying of a heart attack because this laser thing that came on.
Okay, well, I think Alex, you got any more questions for these two guys today?
No more questions, but I'm very interested. I'll tell you, for my daughter Madison, I am very interested because she's more of an introvert and can't seem to get her too interested in anything. So I see this as an advantage, definitely. And I'll tell you what, the way that I see things, nothing's free in life. I wouldn't be able to come to you and say, here, teach my daughter for free. It would be difficult for me. I would definitely be donating and
you'll take some money from him, right, Louis? That'll solve that problem.
Again,
yeah, I mean, I was raised to run on my own steam. You know what I mean? That's just I don't know. It's a cultural thing, I guess, with the Mexican folks, right? So my dad always raised me to not depend on others for those kind of handouts. It's a thing of honor, if you will. Okay. And but don't get me wrong. I can see the benefit and the value in what you guys are doing for the kids that don't have those opportunities, and it creates those opportunities, gets them off the street. I mean that's I think important, especially in Compton. Exactly. You know what I mean? Yeah. Compton is known for its lower income economy out there, and definitely needs something a philanthropy push, if you will, for something like this. This is great.
Thanks.
Thank you.
A will and a way. Next week, we lost the clock came back. Wow, minute and a half left. I was too prepared for the last segment. That's guys, you have to believe. I've been back on here. I did this 5 years at another station. Just got back on a couple months ago, and I keep getting down to that ladder. We have so much fun. I keep getting down to that segment. Oh, here we go to the next segment. Oh, we're done. And I felt bad because the one guest, I didn't give him a chance to promote himself or whatever. So I want to make sure we got that out of the way early. Next week, ladies and gentlemen, make sure you tune in. We have Bruce Sawyer, one of the local ASA district commissioners, is going to be joining me here, and I think he's bringing an extra guest with him. We'll be talking some ASA softball, what's going on with the ASA, and how can your children benefit from that. Softball, we don't care what sport it is. We want to get kids involved. We talk about having an epidemic of obesity. We have an epidemic of kids got smartphones glued to their nose or something. Let's get them back out there. But parents, gamers, gamers are okay. Westwood College had a whole thing on gaming. But parents, remember two things. Teach first, win later, and let the kids have some fun. If they don't have fun, they're not going to do it. Parents, remember that at work. If you don't like your job, it may not be easy, but you know what? Go find something you like to do. You're going to be more successful in the long run. You're going to be happy. You're going to be healthier. Right, Alex?
Right on. I know I am. I love to do radio with you, Coach Mike.
You like it? I'm glad you're here, Alex.
I love the energy,
Well, you know what? The best quote, I'll leave you with that. The best quote I heard this week from my friend Stacy Maho in Hawaii says, you can't have a positive impact with a negative mind. That's a great one. Thanks, guys, for joining me. Kids,
thank you for having us.
We'll be back next week.
Thanks. I didn't think I was going to last an hour.